The two pieces are two new rules that we're talking about here. Number one is the volume maturity rule. And then the next one is the flushing rule. And I know that word sounds a little scary. So don't worry. I know it's a scary word, but we'll talk about exactly what that means so that you can, again, feel confident going forward that, oh, okay, this isn't as bad as I was initially thinking. This is actually not bad at all. There's a lot of benefits here and a lot of incentive along the way. Okay, so let's talk about the volume maturity rule. This really applies first and foremost to legacy volume. And then as volume ages and matures, there are some shifts in how that volume looks and how that is processed through commissions. So LifeWave will protect your unused volume for 1 year on both your power and profit legs. So you have a lot of time to build up that security in your account. You have a long time to make sure that you're building out both of your legs so you can cycle and earn commissions on that volume. Now, volume that is older than 52 weeks will not roll forward. The 53rd week will drop off each commission period on a continuous and rolling basis. So that's what will start happening as of April 12th. Now, you see from this last point here, any volume right now, as of today, and on April 12th, that is over 52 weeks old, will be removed upon implementation. But after that, it's just going to be little bits each week, right? Now, I've had some questions from some leaders and some members that have shared with me their thoughts around this and wanted some clarification. Now, what volume cycles first? If my volume will be removed as it ages, as it matures, how do I know what's happening? How do I make sure that I'm earning as many commissions as I can with that volume? So there's an accounting term, first in, first out. And that applies to this volume maturity rule. And it applies to how our commissions are calculated. So the volume that comes in first is what is cycled with first. So you don't have to be super concerned with that. That's the way that the computer calculates it. So that's something that you would probably want to understand, that the older the volume is, the sooner that it does cycle. So those are some specifics on how this works with the volume maturity rule. Now, we're going to move on to the flushing rule. But before we do that, I wanted to share this image with you as a reminder for how much money everyone can earn based on their paid as rank. So I know that you're all familiar with this concept, but just for a visual reference, based on your paid as rank, you do have weekly binary commission maximum payouts. And something to consider and something to be aware of is these payouts are high, right? These maximums are high. They're done that way intentionally. We wanted people to have the space to be able to earn great incomes within the structure that they've developed within their organization, within their team. And so there is space for you to really be able to max out each of these paid as ranks as you continue to develop and mature your organization. So take a look at this visual. Based on whatever paid as rank you are at, that is determining what is the maximum amount you can be paid per week. I mean, I don't know about you, but some of these amounts are pretty good. And even as a manager, $1,500 a week maximum payout, that's a great income, and certainly something that I know that many of you are working towards. So keep this in mind as we talk about this next component and this next adjustment to the plan. So this flushing rule. As you advance in rank, your earning potential increases. You just saw that in the visual. So your potential gets bigger and bigger the more that you grow your team. Now, your weekly binary commissions, as you know, are calculated using a 2-to-1 ratio or a 660 to 330 BV ratio. And maximum payouts are established based on the paid as rank, like we just discussed. So those are two components to be aware of when we're looking at how this works, right? So now one thing that we'll talk about in a second has to do with a term that many of you may not be fully familiar with, and it's cyclable volume. And so we're going to start using that term because especially when it comes to this component of the plan, that's really important to understand. Now, cyclable volume means volume that meets this 2-to-1 ratio, right? So if something has the right structure, has the right ratio, meaning if I had no limits whatsoever, it would result in a commission, right? So any commissions would be associated with this ratio. So I just want to introduce that term right now. We'll come back to it in a second. So Again, binary commissions are calculated using that 2-to-1 ratio and also applying those maximum payouts based on paid as rank. Now, for managers and above going forward, okay, excess cyclable volume will not roll forward and will flush. Okay, now I know you're saying, okay, well, what does that mean? And again, remember what I was saying about cyclable volume. It has to meet that ratio. Not all the volume that's in your account will meet that. And if it doesn't meet that, then it's not part of this rule. But again, we'll get into some examples because I know this is a new concept and maybe a little bit, it's hard to wrap the brain around, right? So as you move up in your paid as rank, you will have access to more and more of that cyclable volume and earn more at your newly achieved rank. So as I talked about before, as you grow your group, as you move up in paid as rank, your earning potential increases and you will be able to have access and cycle more of that volume. Now, something to consider as well, enrollment titles and paid as managers will be excluded from this flushing rule for the first 52 weeks from enrollment date. We know when someone is new to the business, they're still establishing what's happening, building in stability, building in consistency to how the volume comes through your group, what you're doing, and how you're growing your business. And so we wanted to provide a little bit of flexibility in that space. So as you're getting going, you don't have to worry about this particular piece or think about it, I guess is a better word. Now let's jump into a couple of examples. Hopefully this will give you a little bit more clarity as to a few different scenarios and how this flushing rule works. So for this example, I am a paid as manager, and the most that I can cycle each week as a paid as manager is 30 times, which results in up to $1,500, right? At the $50 per cycle payout. So I have 10,260 BV on my profit leg, and I have 21,460 BV on my power leg. Now that equals 31 cycles, which is 1,550. Now you can see $50 in cycle bonus is above the allowable amount as a paid as manager, right? So all the cyclable volume, which if you look at the numbers here, they're not a match for all my volume. My cyclable volume, meaning it's met that ratio, is 10,230 on the profit and 20,460 on the power leg. This will be paid out or removed from my account, flushed at the end of the week. And I will receive $1,500 in commissions, and I will retain 30 BV in my profit leg and 1,000 BV in my power leg. That will carry forward. So again, the only volume that's going to be not carried forward is cyclable volume, either because it's maxed out and or I'm paid a healthy commission. So let's do another example. This one has to do with the director. So I'm a paid as director, and the most that I can cycle in a week is 50 times or $2,500. I have 19,800 BV on my profit leg, and I have 49,600 BV on my power leg. That equals 60 cycles or $3,000. Now, again, when we compare, that's $500 in cycle bonus above the allowable amount as a director. Now, all that cyclable volume will be removed and or paid out, right? So in this case, 19,800 in my profit leg and 39,600 in my power leg. It again will be paid out and removed from my account. But I receive a $2,500 in commissions and I retain 10,000 BV on my power leg. It will carry forward. So again, I want to really bring emphasis and understanding to this. Not all the volume in your account, in your legs, will be not carried forward. Some will, right? As long as it's not over 52 weeks old, it will continue forward. It's just the volume that would have been cycled and paid out if you had a higher rank, like we were talking about. As you increase in your rank, you have access to the commissions that would be earned for the volume that meets that ratio. So like Jim was saying too, and I believe Ryan said this as well, most of our members are not reaching that maximum amount per rank. Most don't, right? And again, that was done intentionally so. But this is the thing. You're going to be earning the commissions on the volume that you have coming through your account, right? So it's very rare that you will be in a situation where that volume will flush and you won't have been paid the commissions because of a limit based on your paid as rank. So again, you have the opportunity to earn more as you increase in your business, as you grow your team, as you go forward with your rank advancements. This is a great opportunity for you to maximize and really earn more and more. And it also incentivizes your team to do the same. It's always good for us to have a carrot that we're working towards. It's always good for us to have something that we're aiming at, because that helps us to be excited. It helps us with our goal setting. We talk about that a lot, goal setting, and how important it is having a very specific goal that we know can result in a better lifestyle, a better life, more freedom is always great. Okay, so I have this last example, and this one is important because this particular example, it's an enrollment title, meaning this individual is not, or me, let's pretend it's me, I have not yet received the rank of manager. I have not achieved it yet. So in this scenario, I'm a gold enrollment title. Right? And as an enrollment title, meaning I haven't yet achieved a rank, the most I can cycle each week is 2 times or $100 in binary commissions or cycle bonus. So in this situation, I have 1,320 BV on my profit leg, and I have 2,600 BV on my power leg, which would result in 4 cycles or $200. Now, $100 in cycle bonuses is above the allowable amount as a gold enrollment title. Now, all my cyclable volume, which is 1,320 BV and 2,640 BV on my power leg, it will be paid out or carried forward at the end of the week. Now, again, remember, enrollment titles and paid as managers are excluded from this rule, especially the managers for the first 52 weeks, right? This first year. So this is an important piece to understand, right? Because of this title, because they're within that first 52 weeks, this is what happens. Their volume will carry forward. So like I said, this individual, myself as a gold enrollment title, I will receive $100 in commissions and 660 BV in my profit leg, and 1,220 BV in my power leg will carry forward. Okay, so there's a couple different ways, and these 3 examples, I hope, make it a little bit easier to understand what's actually happening when it comes to this new adjustment to the plan, right? We know it'll take some time to understand this fully. And like I said, we've updated all of our resources, and you can go in and dig in and look at some of the examples. You can look at some of the descriptions of how this works, and hopefully it'll help you feel more confident. You can also reach out to our customer service team. They've all been trained on these adjustments and can answer your questions. But I also encourage you to talk to your team. Talk to those who have brought you into this business, who have shared this opportunity with you. Talk about it together. Talk through different scenarios and try to really make sure that you feel that you understand exactly what this means for your checks and what this means for you as you encourage those on your team to advance so they have greater earning potential as well. Now, those are the examples I had and the specifics I want to share.